We're gonna take a ride, a long, long ride together. We're gonna fly far as old starlight has taken on its perfect line of flight. Seasons come and seasons go, and no one knows the time except the sun. But everyone, yes, everyone can see the stars tonight. Lie down, down on the ground and look at the lonely moon. Lie still here in the grass, stare at the lonely moon. We're gonna take a ride, a long, long ride together. We're gonna fly high as the moon in June, on chords of this familiar tune. Seasons come and seasons go, and no one knows the time except the sun. But everyone, yes, everyone can see the stars. Lean a little closer into my arms tonight. Sit here, lean a little closer into my loving arms. We're gonna find the time to sing to the sky together. We're gonna take the time to sing that rhyme, remember all the lines we never learned. Seasons come and seasons go, and no one knows the time except the sun. But everyone, yes, everyone can see the stars tonight. Yes, everyone can see the stars tonight.
Everyone Can See the Stars from Floyd Thursby, who I'm talking to today on the Crimson Palace on Phoenix FM 106.7, where the time is 5:38 p.m. and it's sitting on 20 degrees. All right, now, Floyd, the most important question that I like to ask my guests: who inspired you musically growing up?
Ooh. I would say that, well, I can tell you, I'll give you two answers. When I was very, very young, the very first album I bought, in fact, I asked my mum to buy it for me because I was too young, was the album Dynasty by Kiss. And I found that extremely inspirational, although I suspect it was mostly because of the makeup that they were wearing, because I was about 5 years old and wanted to wear Gene Simmons' makeup to primary school. Moving a little bit later on in life, when I was actually starting to play music myself, certainly Tom Waits was one of the most critical influences on me when I was just starting to explore composition and songwriting, playing guitar. And his work in the early 80s with Rain Dogs, Swordfish Trombones, Frank's Wild Years, those three albums were just so important. They were an amazing collection, not only of lyrics, but of extraordinary sounds that I just didn't imagine you could ever put together to make such amazing music.
Do you know that Gene Simmons of Kiss has actually fallen asleep and woken up in his makeup?
I would not be surprised. I'm surprised he takes it off at all, to be honest.
Yeah. It'd be a lot of effort, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would be crazy. Yeah, I'm sure he's got a team of people to do it for him nowadays. But back in the days, I'm sure he was doing it himself.
Now, who are you listening to at the moment? If I asked you who's in your CD player or your MP3,
yep,
who would it be?
Look, there's a couple of old favourites, and there's There's some new musicians. To be honest, probably whenever you ask me that question in the last 20 years, I'd say Paul Simon, because I think he's just one of the most perfect songwriters America's ever produced. Particularly his solo albums of the 1970s. I think it's just beautiful work there, and I think it's often overshadowed by the work with Simon Garfunkel, which is also amazing, but I've just got this personal attachment to songs like Still Crazy After All These Years and 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover and American Tune and things like that. And more recently, the new album by an American singer-songwriter, she goes by the name of Weyes Blood, W-E-Y-E-S, Blood, and her new album Atlantic Rising just came out this year to a lot of critical acclaim, and she's doing some extraordinary, lush, sort of symphonic, almost pop, which is really thoughtful and really intelligent, both in arrangement and in lyrics.
Did she have that underwater video clip?
Yes, that's the one.
I've seen that on Rage. I loved it.
It's amazing stuff. It's just firing on every cylinder. You know, visually, she's got some amazing people working with her. And as a composer and ultimate arranger, I just think it's superb. I think she's up there with people like PJ Harvey that are very, very best. Who are doing really, really smart, powerful pop music.
Cool. Now, Floyd, you launched your album at Some Velvet Morning on 13th of October with your band. What was that experience like?
That actually was easily the most enjoyable album launch I've ever done. It's not the first time I've done an album, but it is the first time that I had so much fun in the process. It was a very well-attended show, but it was, more than anything else, it was just a pleasure. It was a pleasure playing with Andrew Tanner on double bass and with Harry Lai on vibraphone. It was a pleasure having guests, performers like Zulia Kamaliva and Girl Friday join us on stage for a few songs. It was a pleasure to see so many friends there, and so many people have been so supportive, both in the last year over the process of this album specifically, but also over the last 20-odd years of making music. And I had a ball, and it was just a really experience.
Girl Friday, that sounds good. What sort of a band? Is that like a band? What sort of a band are they?
Well, Girl Friday has her own band, the Sepia Tones, and I mentioned earlier in the interview, I mentioned Mandy Connell, and the three of us, because Girl Friday, aka Tracy Hogue, also performs solo, but Girl Friday, Mandy Connell and I played together as a trio, and we play folk tunes, both of our own composition and also some classic tunes that people know, but our specialty is working on three-part harmonies. So we get together and sing three-part harmonies, and we're going to be in Castlemaine next month, and then on in Daylesford, and then we'll be up at the Newstead Festival in March of next year.
I like the name Girl Friday because it's such an archaic term.
It's lovely, isn't it? And it's really, it conjures up her songs, which she's like me, she loves listening to really old-time music like Cole Porter and the Gershwins and the Great American Songbook, and she's one of the best people I know for writing songs that capture the cadences of that early 20th century American pop music.
Now, Floyd, what else is in store for us from you for the rest of 2019? You said you had some gigs coming up and you've got the album. Is there anything else?
Well, I'll be at the Majors Creek Folk Festival in the southern coast of New South Wales this coming weekend. I'm really looking forward to that. It's my first time at Majors Creek, but it's one of the most beautiful locations to have a festival in Australia and arguably anywhere in the world. It's a beautiful small town in the mountains, just east of Canberra. The other thing I'm excited about is that I'll be going to the recording studio in December with a singer-songwriter who I first met in the capital city of Vietnam, Hanoi. And her name is Mademoiselle, and she's quite a successful and celebrated performer in her own country. And we're doing an album together. We've written some songs together, and we're singing both in English and in Vietnamese on a series of songs which we're recording in December. Hope to release early next year.
So is she called Mademoiselle because it was a former French colony, or what's the go with that?
I don't think that's a specific reason for it, but the name Mademoiselle would be generally known to Vietnamese speakers, even if they didn't speak French, I suspect, because of that colonial heritage, as you're absolutely, I guess.
All right, now, Floyd, final question. Where can people find out more about you?
The easiest way to find out about me is to go to my website, and my website is at floydthursby.com. You can also look for me on either Instagram or Facebook or even Twitter just by searching for Mr. Floyd Thursby, or one word. I'll be there.
Awesome. You're on Phoenix FM 106.7 with Miss M, and today on the program I've been talking to Melbourne singer-songwriter Floyd Thursby. He has an album out called To Those in Flames. Let's hear a track from it now. And Floyd, thanks so much for being on the program.
Thanks so much for having me.
Pleasure. Let's hear the title track, To Those in Flames.
Demons took you from me, but delivered you once more into my arms. And I believe that when apart you took instruction from their candid appetites. Now you're burned so darkly I no longer know the kingdom of the sun. But the flames that play around us have a warmth that gives me chills, it gives me hope. When you rise in fire. But when you're set in skies all heavy with desire, I say a prayer to those in flames, to those in flames. Teach me how to burn so black that fire becomes the measure of our nights. So I also in flames can hold you to me, knowing heat, forsaking fear. For some who rest in safety and in sunlight seek a different type of day. So an ember resting dull amongst the ashes makes a wish upon a star. When you rise in fire. But when you're set in skies all heavy with desire, I say a prayer to those in flames, to those in flames. When you rise in fire. And when you're set in skies all heavy with desire, I say a prayer to those in flames, to those in flames. And when you rise in fire. And when you're set in skies all heavy with desire, I say a prayer to those in flames, to those in flames.